What's up, guys? It's Underdog MLB, and welcome to my second video here on MLB This Show 21. I'm having a lot of fun on this game, and I hope you guys are too. And today I wanted to talk about the community market and how to make stubs and how to unlock Chipper Jones as fast and as quickly as possible, especially if you are a no money spent player like myself. Obviously, this may seem like a really daunting task to finish every single live series collection in the game. As you see, Trout here is going for upwards of 340,000 stubs in this game, and I only have 14,000. I'm assuming most of you probably are around that number as well if you haven't bought stubs already. But trust me when I tell you guys, if you follow the advice that I give you in this video, you will be able to get these collections done a lot sooner than you think you will be able to. I have completed the live series collection both of the past 2 years. Both times I've done it no money spent. In MLB 19, I got the Willie Mays in October, and then last year I got Mickey Mantle in about 2 months after the game dropped, maybe 2.5 months. I got him in the beginning of June. This year I'm hoping to do it even faster than that, hopefully under 2 months. Now I know there are probably going to be a bunch of other tips videos on how to make stubs in the game, and a lot of them are just going to talk about, hey, play rank seasons, play moments, play BR, do everything that you can to play the game to get stubs. And while I agree that's a great way to make stubs, not everybody has that much time to play the game. Also, not everybody's going to be winning those games. Like, for example, I'm not good enough to go 12-0 in BR, so that's not really a viable option for me to get stubs by selling those 12-0 flawless players. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, especially if you're new to the game, are also going to be in that same boat. So my tips are more oriented for people who have time to flip the market, sell and buy cards for profit, and hopefully make stubs that way. So let's start with the basics here. I have filtered for live series golds right here, and I'm going to show you guys how to put in buy and sell orders. That's the most basic thing you need to know how to do on the market, but trust me, it really helps, and it's especially going to help when I talk about flipping later in this video. So there are two ways to buy a card off the community market. You can buy the card now, and what's going to happen when you do that is you're going to buy it for 3,586 stubs for this Kenta Maeda. If you want to buy him now, you can do that. He's going to immediately go into your inventory for 3,586 stubs that you have to pay for him. Or if you're willing to wait for Kenta Maeda, you can buy him at a cheaper price. And what I mean by that is you put in a buy order for just above 3,110 stubs, as you can see, because that is the highest sell now order at the moment. So I'm going to try and put in a buy order for Maeda here at 3,112 stubs. You can go up by 1, you can go up by 2, which is what I normally do. You can go up by 5. Doesn't really make that much of a difference, but if you're buying cards for collections or flipping cards or really anything you want to do to buy cards, I would always recommend putting in buy orders, because you're going to save a lot of stubs. As you can see here, I'm going to be buying this Kenta Maeda card for 3,112 stubs. As you see, somebody already undercut me, but hopefully I'll get my order fulfilled. And as you can see, I will save between 300 and 400 stubs because I put in this buy order, and I'm not going to get him immediately, but that's fine because I don't really need this card immediately. And that 300 to 400 subs doesn't seem like a ton, but keep in mind, when you're doing every single live series collection, you're going to be buying over 1,000 players, so that is really going to add up. So this is something that you're definitely going to want to do. And the same thing goes for sell orders. You can decide to sell the card now for 3,121 stubs. Now keep in mind, there is a 10% tax, so you would get 90% of that 3,121 stubs. Or you can decide to make the maximum profit and sell the card for just under 3,450, which is currently the top sell order. And as you can see, if you put in a sell order and someone wants to buy the card now, that's how they buy the card now. So this marketplace is completely community oriented. It's driven by the community. The prices are determined by the community. And so if I decide to be a jerk here and put in an order for 3,445 stubs for Kenta Maeda to try and buy him, I can do that. And now people who are trying to flip Maeda don't have any margin to make profit. People who are trying to buy Maeda will now have to raise their price in order to beat mine, and I end up losing out on stubs. And the only person who gains is someone who is trying to sell the card now who has a higher price. But like, why would you harm your own wallet in order to help someone else's? That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. All right, so that buy order for Kenta Maeda just went through for 3,445, which I was trying to have that not go through, but whatever, we'll deal with it. Now we have a Kenta Maeda, so I can show you guys the sell process as well. So if I wanted to sell this for 90% of 3,111, I could do that and I'd get the stubs right away, or I could sell them for just under 3,594, again with a 10% tax taken out. That still leaves me with almost a 500 stub profit that I am going to make because I decided to wait and fill out my sell order instead of selling the card now. So I'm going to put in that sell order for 3,592 stubs, and hopefully that Kenta Maeda will sell back to me. So let's pick another player here. Giancarlo Stanton looks pretty good. As you can see here, he's got quite a large margin. The difference between his buy now and sell now is almost 1,000 stubs, and that's going to lead into something that I'm going to talk about a bit later, which is called flipping cards. But let's say I wanted to buy this Stanton here, I would put in a buy order for 5,277 stubs, and then I get the card for 1,000 stubs cheaper than I would have if I decided to buy the card now. All right, our buy order just went through. It took probably 2 minutes. Again, early on in the year, there's so many people playing this game. The market moves really fast, especially this opening week. A lot of people are opening their packs for the first time. They're pulling a lot of cards. So this is the prime time for buyers and sellers to go through. They go through really, really fast. So the time difference is barely anything between buying the card now and putting in a buy order. So it's really just all about saving stubs. So now that I've got the Stanton, I can go ahead and sell him for 6,283 stubs. And once that card sells, by my calculations, I will have made over 300 stubs because I bought Stanton for a buy order and sold him for a sell order. So I made 300 stubs of profit, and that leads to my next thing that I'm going to tell you guys about, which is flipping cards. And this is the biggest key to how I was able to unlock the collection rewards in both of the last 2 years. Not by playing the game and being insane at it and earning all these expensive rewards that I sold. It's about just putting in a daily grind of flipping cards. You buy the card and then you sell him to make a profit. So what you want to look for with a card that you're trying to flip is a good margin. And I love to flip live series gold cards. I feel like they go really fast, especially early on here in the year, and they tend to have pretty good margins. This one stands out to me, Ramon Laureano. He's only at a 3,000 buy now, which means that the tax on him is going to be not very much compared to some of the other golds that we've seen. So on a surface level, this looks like about a 900 stub margin, which is about the same as this Byron Buxton here. But if you take into account the tax that you're going to have when you're selling Buxton, you're going to make a lot more profit flipping this Laureano than you are when you're going to sell this Buxton. This Tim Anderson also seems to have a good margin. He's probably over 1,000 stubs difference between his buy now and sell now. Again, you're not going to make 1,000 stubs of profit with the tax, but this is kind of the margin you want to be looking for in this range of price. Some other cards on this page that look like they have pretty good margins are this Ken Giles here, this Carlos Correa, and Josh Donaldson. Those would be good cards to flip at their current price. Again, cards go up and down in price. As I said earlier, the market is driven by the community, so prices are not fixed. So when you get on this game later, the prices might be completely different, and different cards might have different margins that you want to flip. So that's why you have to always pay attention, not just to each player and have a specific player that you want to flip, but look at a certain overall range and then see what players have good margins, and then you can flip based on that. So there are certain times of the month or the game cycle that you really want to be paying attention to when to flip cards. So one of these is Player of the Month. I don't know how they're going to do Player of the Month this year. They change it up from year to year. Sometimes you have to buy all the Player of the Month cards. Sometimes it's just a program where you grind. Sometimes you have to exchange certain overall cards. But a lot of times there is a pack in the store with Player of the Month players that you can buy. And if that is the case this year, I would highly recommend that you flip those players when they first come out. Like the first 2 days that that pack is in the store, those players go super fast and they have really good margins. So those are some players you want to look out for to flip. Other times are when the team affinities come out. last year there were 4 stages to the Team Affinity, and every time they announced a new stage was coming, like 2 weeks before, the prices on live series goals absolutely shot up in value because people were trying to buy them in preparation for the exchanges that they were going to have to do those Team Affinities. Now, the Team Affinities do have caps on exchanges this year, so I don't know if that's going to be as extreme as it was last year, but that's still something I would look for. People are probably going to drive up the prices and drive up the margins as well on these gold cards, so that's something you want to be looking for. Another good time to do it is before a roster update. I would say 2 to 3 days before every roster update. People tend to look at what players have been doing well in real life, what silver players have a chance to go gold, or what gold players have a chance to go diamond, and they try to stock up on those cards, buy a lot of them before their price raises because they're now a diamond or because they're now a gold. And usually when that happens, the prices go up and the margins go up as well. So those are times you want to be flipping those cards. However, I do want to make sure that I say this. If you want to flip before roster updates, I think that's a great idea. However, you want to make sure all of the cards that you have tried to flip have been sold before the roster update goes live, because once the roster update goes live, everyone tries to spam sell their cards that they've just bought, and if a lot of people are selling their card, that's going to drive the price of the card down, which is going to cut into your profits. You want to make sure that you have sold off all the cards that you're flipping by the time the roster update goes live. And one additional thing I want to mention to help you flip cards is, especially if you're in school or at work or something and you don't have time to be on this game all the time, that is okay. There still is a way to flip cards, and that is the website for this game. It's called theshow.com. It used to be theshownation.com. Now they changed it, so it's just theshow.com. And if you go on there, you can flip cards. At least you could last year. There is some problem with the website this year, like it's just not loading or anything. I can't access the website. I think this could be probably just because it's early release, and so once the regular game drops on the 20th, you will be able to access the website. At least that's what I'm hoping is the case. So if you're doing school or work and something and you want to keep making stubs even though you're not on the game, go to that website. You can put in buy and sell orders from the website, and you can keep making stubs on stubs on stubs. Another thing that I kind of alluded to earlier is investing in players that you think are going to go gold or diamond in each roster update. So you can flip players before the roster update. You can also just straight up buy them before the roster update if you think they're going to go gold and diamond, because the quick sell value of each gold is 1,000 stubs. So most golds sit around 1,000 stubs. Now obviously prices are a little bit more than that. I think that's just because it's the first week of the game. Usually after a week or two, these prices will tend to go down. But the quick sell value of a diamond is 5,000 stubs. So no diamond can be sold for less than 5,000 stubs. So if you buy a player that's going for 1,000 stubs and he gets upgraded to a diamond because he's playing really well in real life, you will make a ton of profit, especially if you stock up on a bunch of those players. Now normally each gold card will not be 1,000 stubs if they are doing really well in real life. Like let's say Correa is doing really well in real life and there's a good chance he goes diamond. That means his price is going to rise a lot. So you're not going to buy every player for 1,000 stubs and expect to make 4,000 stubs of profit because they go diamond. You're going to make less than that because other people are going to have the same idea. But one thing you can do if you don't want to invest in a bunch of players is right before each roster update, you can put in a bunch of buy orders for, let's say, like 2,000 stubs on Carlos Correa here. If he goes diamond, that buy order for 2,000 subs will stay in, even though the quick sell value is 5,000 subs and you can't buy or sell the card for less than 5,000 subs now that he's a diamond. Your buy order will stay in at less than 5,000 stubs, even though he's still a diamond, because he was a gold when you put that order in. So eventually, stupid people will sell the card for less than 5,000 stubs, even though you don't have to do that. And eventually, it's going to get down to you, and you might get sold this Diamond Correa card for 2,000 stubs, even though technically you shouldn't be able to. At least in the past 2 years, that's been the case. They may have patched that for this year, but make sure you're trying that method before each roster update as well, as putting in a lot of low buy orders for golds that are going to go diamond, and then once they go diamond, you might buy them at a price that's technically below what they're supposed to go to. A final note I want to say about investments is if a player does not go diamond that you've invested in a certain roster update, do not panic, do not spam sell that card. The price of that card is just going to go down and you're not going to make a profit. You're actually probably going to lose stubs if you do that. There's going to be more roster updates throughout the year, so just hold on to those cards. They have more chances to go diamond, diamond. So even if you invested in one and it doesn't work out, it can still work out and you still might make profit in the end. So don't sell your cards after a roster update if it doesn't work out. A final note I want to say about collections here is not to do them as soon as you have enough stubs to. Like, let's say I have about 40,000 stubs here. This Chris Sale is going for roughly 30k, and then if you add all of the golds together, that's going to be about 40,000 stubs. So you say, oh, well, now I have enough stubs to do the Red Sox collection. I would not advise doing that here early on in the game, because this Chris Sale is going to absolutely tank in value as the year goes on. He might approach like 5k in a couple of months. So this collection will be cheaper as the year goes on, and you will make more stubs if you hold on to the stubs that are currently in your wallet and use them for flipping cards, which will make you more stubs, because the more stubs you have available for flipping cards, the more stubs you will make for flipping cards as you flip multiple cards at the same time. So that makes two reasons why it's best to hold off on these collections. They will be cheaper, and you saving your stubs will lead to you having more stubs, which will ultimately lead to you getting these collections done faster. Now, obviously, if you have like 100,000 stubs already and you want to do the Orioles, who don't even have a single gold in their collection, or like the Twins, who have only golds, and you get a diamond for it, I would say that's probably fine, because most of these collections that are under 10k probably won't take that much of a hit to your stub count, especially if you already have a sizable amount of stubs already. But some of these big collections with these diamonds, like the Yankees especially, these prices are definitely going to go down over time, or really any collection with a diamond for that matter. It is smart to save your stubs and not do those collections right now. They will decrease in value, and your stub count will get greater and greater if you hold on to your stubs. So yeah, that is going to wrap up my tips and tricks for how to make a bunch of stubs, how to work the community market, and hopefully get that 99 Chipper Jones as soon as you can. I hope you guys are excited to get on the grind for this game and hopefully get that card really, really soon. I know I'm going to be working my tail off to try and get that. I really want Chipper in my lineup, as well as Alfonso Soriano. I've been wanting that card in the game for a number of years, so it's going to be fun to hopefully have those guys in my lineup sooner than later. I'm going to be working the heck out of this market to try and make that happen, and I hope you guys are too with these tips that I've tried to give you guys. Hopefully you can take something away from this to help you work the market better and understand how it works if you are new to the game. So thank you for watching this, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow for another video.